you're a veteran, of course. I'm a
Hmm.
veteran. I know that when I got out, and I didn't go straight into like anything IT, I was a medic and stuff, but
Okay.
um, that transition period, because there are a lot of people that listen to this that are currently active duty military, and they're preparing, or they may be at some point in the next few years preparing to get out.
Right.
Is there anything that you found beneficial during that transition period? So did you find that the base that you ended on, whether, wherever that was, did they have enough programs for you that you could take advantage of that as you were transitioning, or did you have to go out searching for things on your own? And I know your perspective, I started my service long before yours. And back then, there wasn't necessarily an easy avenue to find all those things. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm kind of asking. One, personally, I want to see if there's more of that out there where it's more beneficial to people. And number two, if you can offer any resources for somebody that might be transitioning that they should be looking for, whether it's on base or things they should be Googling, anything that you can recommend someone out there.
So I got on 2016, and the transition program is actually pretty good. So the transition program is pretty much they try to get you ready for civilian life, whether that's the resume you may need, um, job search help, but in general, that's cool. It's more of a supplement. If you are literally getting out of the military and your plan is, man, I'm just gonna get out. That's not a good plan. It's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out for you. So just make sure that if you want to get out, and I know sometimes, if it's veterans listen to this, they'll understand. Sometimes it's just like, you may just had a super rough day. You may be coming off a deployment. You may be coming out of the field. You may just, stuff might just be rough. Because sometimes in the military, your MOS or your job is your job, but you have 1,000 jobs. You may have soldiers
Mhm.
underneath you. You're getting it from the top, the bottom, in between.
Yeah.
You got with
Yep.
life. It just gets rough. So what I would say is just how took yourself up and figured out, okay, this is how I get promoted. This is how I pass the PT test. This is what I have to do at the range. This is what I have to do, and pretty much did all that stuff and made yourself self-sufficient. You have to do that stuff on the outside of 100-fold, because in the military, it may seem like you are a go-getter, and you are a go-getter, but a lot of the stuff is you push, you prod it. You got to do this, or you're gonna do push-ups. You got to do this, or you're gonna get written up. You got to do this, da, da, da. So there is gonna be there is no you got to do anything. You can be a bum. Oh well, that's on you. You have
Mhm.
to. You have to put in the work. And me, honestly, I did. How long was I in? Almost 8 years. So I did 8 years. I got up to, and that's another thing. So that's one good thing about the military is that it's in black and white. If you want to get promoted, you do this, this, and that, you'll get promoted. So I figured that out, got up to E6, and then once I kind of got to, I deployed and all that stuff, well, I got to a point that I was like, me in the military, calling it separate, need to go our separate ways. About 2 years out, I pretty much started to transition. That doesn't mean that I stopped showing up to work or took off my uniform and threw it in the trash. It just means that mentally, no, not mentally. That's not a good way to say it. Pretty much, I was setting myself up for a transition. So one way that I did that is LinkedIn. LinkedIn can literally change your life if you use it right. I think that rhymed. Yeah, yeah, it did. LinkedIn can change your life if you use it right. So you can get on LinkedIn, and I know it's not as sexy as Facebook and Instagram. It may not be as cool, but the main thing I would do, and the thing that can really help you in your transition, is LinkedIn, and just the internet in general, because it puts so many different people at your fingertips, people that you wouldn't have access to. So I would say, whatever field you want to be in, I would start connecting with those people on LinkedIn. Start connecting with resume writers, recruiters, other vets, and just pretty much, get your stuff honed in on LinkedIn. So long story short, if you think about transition, however much time you got on your contract, you need to use that time to get as much education as you can, as much training as you can, and start connecting with people via LinkedIn and other, meetup groups or wherever you want to go. Pretty much your goal is, I'm gonna tell you what my goal was, and thank God I accomplished it. It was that I wanted to have a job while I was on leave. So with the leave, it's just pretty much like your vacation time, the time that you have left before you get out. I think I had 60 days. So I had 60 days of leave, and I was, I had a job secured, had built up my LinkedIn network, and I was getting, paid from the Army and paid from, my new job, because it's completely possible to do it. So long story short, don't be afraid. You went through basic training, you got cussed out, spit at, maybe shot at, blown up. Don't be worried about transition.
Cool. Yeah, we got many stories we could share. We won't do that on this episode. We could probably go back and forth for hours about the Army. So you mentioned a good point there with LinkedIn. I want to just piggyback off that. I think also you need to ask for help if you're transitioning. Like, don't just like connect. Like, don't connect with, Rob. Don't connect with me, and then like do nothing. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm not a mind reader. I have no idea what's happening in your life. I have no clue.
Nope.
But if you reach out to me and say, "Hey, man, I'm transitioning," because I got out, I'm not going to date myself, many years ago.
I'm proud of you regardless. No matter.
There you go, man. I tell you what, if you can make it through, where, you know what? Let's sidebar real quick. Where'd you do basic, man?
Fort Benning, man.
Fort Benning?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say, if you did like Relaxing Jackson or something, I may have to hang up on you. Yeah, I did Mother Sill.
Okay.
Certainly experienced, especially. I remember probably, I think it was like week 3 or 4. They took us over by the artillery to show us that, and they gave us these earplugs, and I couldn't figure them out. So like, I almost blew my eardrum out when they shot off one of the guns. So I figured it out quickly after that. How to.
That's right.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a learning process. Anyways, we'll get back on.
Hey, let me piggyback off of that and tell you a quick story.
Oh, do it, man. Do it.
Training, right? I was in basic training, and this is what was making me rethink my whole enjoyment, right? So anyway, long story short, it's not funny when people cry, but anyway, he was having a tough time, and the drill sergeant was yelling at him and angry, and the guy started crying, and my drill sergeant tasted his tears. He wiped off the guy's tears and tasted it. I said, "Oh man, this is real. I don't know if I'll make it." But yeah. So long story short, if you can make it through basic training, a job interview or fill out a resume, no big deal.
Yeah. That's definitely nothing. I have to ask, because I guess I was just a little naive when I signed up. I kind of did it out of boredom. I did for two main reasons. I signed up out of boredom, and then also, I wanted to be a paramedic because, I saw they got girls and I wanted to get girls. So, hey, let's just be honest here, right? Let's be honest. So those were my pushing points. It wasn't patriotism or anything like that. That stuff came later, of course, but
that's right. That's
true. Like, reality is most people don't go in for.
Good for being honest. Thanks for being honest, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to ask, for me, the first time I heard about police call, I got so excited. Like I was so excited, and then I realized what it was. And for those that don't know, you just pick up trash. You stand in a long line and you go pick up trash.
You got to give them the full. You pick up all the trash.
Everything.
All the trash that's ever been thrown. You pick all of it.
And I swear, man, the drill sergeants would go out there and just pour bags of trash out there before we would go out. I swear. You can't tell me they didn't, man.
They had to. They're like, "Where's this? We just did this yesterday."
Exactly. Yeah. We walk this same thing every day, twice a day. What's it? The other thing that got me, that fooled me, was kitchen patrol. Did you have to do KP at all?
No, you know what? Somehow I did it later on, but in basic training, I never got KP.
Oh, man, you lucked out. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I thought it was so cool, man. I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to be like the MPs, right? We're going to patrol the kitchen and make sure it's safe. I'm doing dishes. I'm sweeping floors. Yeah. So if you're out there listening to this episode and you're thinking about, I want to go sign up for the military, when you hear them use certain terms, just be wary of that and don't volunteer. That's my best advice there.
And then just the last thing on that.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to a guy today, and this is coming from 2 veterans that paid our dues, blah blah blah. And I was talking to somebody, and this comes up a lot. They're gonna give me this. They're gonna give me that. They're gonna give me housing. They're gonna give me education. They're gonna give me that. I said, listen, man, you have to understand, you earn all of that stuff. Like, they're not gonna give you anything. Like, you earn all that stuff. And like I said, I don't regret joining at all. I did a good job, succeeded, I excelled, blah, blah, blah. But it's just, it molds you into a better person. But like I said, you're going to earn everything. But the funny thing is, another thing about people that transitioning, it's not like just, you know, younger people or people that was only in for a couple years, so privates or specialists. I have, you know, higher ranking people that ask me for advice. It's sergeant majors, it's colonels, it's captains that are literally, you know, terrified of getting out because some people, you know, it's all they know. So they got in at 18, they getting out at 40 something or 50 something, and it's like, damn, what do I do now? Now, pretty much the same thing you said. I always like, if you got shot at and blown up, and you went to basic training, and you went through this training, and you did this, and you had to do that, like, don't be scared of, you know, somebody, you know, sitting across from you in the suit asking you a few questions. Man, it's no big deal.